Hello you guys, this is John Burr coming back to you with another movie review. And today we are going to be reviewing the new Pixar movie, Elemental. And in this new Pixar movie is about a fire elemental named Ember who is currently trying to find her place in the world. And seeing how it goes, she believes her place is to take over her dad's shop, but after meeting a water elemental named Wade, she believes her path should be on a different course. And this is about as deep into the synopsis as I'm going to give it to you, because this is, of course, going to be a spoiler-free review. This review is going to probably be relatively short because this movie was very underwhelming, as are a lot of Pixar movies nowadays. Pixar used to be such a hype fest when I was growing up. I mean, I remember back when we were only getting a Pixar movie maybe every 2 years, and I think that was like what made it so great, because I mean, like every 2 years we're getting a Pixar movie. Yes, cannot wait. Nowadays we're getting like 2 Pixar movies almost every year, back to back to back to back, and it's like the story is that now they're coming out with are very underwhelming. There's like so much less originality with the stories from Pixar. It's like they're kind of like playing off their own stories now. The last Pixar movie that I saw that I would consider being fantastic would probably be WALL-E. I mean, great animation, a great story, and I mean, it was such a great story with so little dialogue, because the dialogue was very minimal in that movie, because most of the people doing all the talking, well, characters doing all the talking, were the robots. And their dialogue was just like one sentence or one-word sentences. And they still made it great. Basically, my whole point from what I'm trying to say here is that Pixar has just basically become this branch of Disney where they're giving us these movies with stories that have lackluster originality, but still enough animation to like make us think like, oh, we're going on an adventure ride. And that's exactly what Elemental is to me. Of course, Elemental had great animation. I mean, Pixar has its trademark animation. You see it everywhere. But it seems like they took it a little bit further in this movie. So that's the one good thing I'm seeing about this movie, is that the animation is taken like a step further. I mean, there is so much more, I don't want to say more color in this movie, but it just seemed like the colors popped a lot more than a lot of other Pixar movies. Usually we get a solo kind of shine with Pixar's animation when it comes to color, but this one was like really popping. And I think it was mainly because of the elementals, the fire, the air, the water, the earth, and their different aspects and different traits that really made the colors pop. The only other good thing I liked about this movie, of course, was Ember and her character. I mean, her character had so many different dimensions. I mean, you're thinking like, oh, is she going to take over her father's shop because that's all she's known? But also, you start seeing her later and you think maybe taking over her father's shop isn't what she's meant to be. Maybe she's meant to be something else. And you start thinking about, what do you think she's going to do? I mean, it's like her directions can go in so many different ways. Aside from all that, though, everything else about this movie just really kind of was a thumbs down. Let's start with why I did not like the plot. This plot mainly follows the themes of prejudice and, embracing everybody for who they are, no matter what they are. So, I mean, there's no originality there because we've already seen that in another Pixar movie. Though I did like the part where how they were saying that the fire elements were like immigrants leaving their homeland and their traditions behind, to find something better and to start a family. But one good redeeming trait is not going to get me to say that this plot was good, in my opinion. At most, it was about average to closer to going below average. The reason why I say that is because this plot was very predictable. I mean, you kind of knew what was going to happen when you started watching this movie. Like I said, I did like how they gave Ember so many different directions and qualities, such a great character development, but it was just wasted on the plot since you knew what was coming. So, I mean, that kind of like spoiled what her character could have been. And the other main character Wade, I just wasn't feeling him at all. I mean, he was supposed to be Amber's opposite, which of course I get. I mean, she's fire, he's water, they're opposites and they don't mix. But I mean, he was just this doofus character that was just being an idiot 75% of the time. I mean, don't get me wrong, he had his quirky, clever moments where he was actually being useful, but other than that, he was just being a doofus the rest of the time. And that's why I was really feeling like he was a good main character, because he was like trying to be funny, but he wasn't. He was just being annoying, and I don't like main characters that are just there to be annoying. I'm going to give Elemental a C. Alright, well that just about covers this review. If you guys have seen the new Pixar movie Elemental, please drop down in the comments below what you thought about the movie yourself, and also if you like my other videos, please subscribe and like. This is John Berg, your average movie lover, signing out.